Hey, what's up? This is Ryan here, founder of Applicant Pro, CEO of Refer, and today we are talking about employer branding. But specifically, this is much more actionable employer branding. We walked through these four parts of this equation, right? It was, do I have a job seeker persona? Do I understand who the reader is? And along with that goes not just where they're at today, why they're looking to move, and how my employer value proposition fits there. Part two is, can I create amazing content? Part three is, can I distribute it and get it in front of them? And part four is, do I actually have a good call to action that gets them moving forward, gets them in momentum towards it? So the last video I just made was about job seeker personas. But when it comes to actually creating content, this is an art, not a science. And let's just start it with that. Creating great content for our job ads is the most important, I personally believe, the most important part of the entire employer branding equation. And my reason is, you can argue with me over it is more important or not, but it's the most overlooked by human resource professionals. Therefore, it's the most important. And so when it comes to creating great content, this really is about knowing who the reader is, who is the consumer of that content. This will instantly point out where the problem is, where we have a misalignment, right? You see, what happens is human resources is writing the content or creating it, and they give it for approval to the manager or to the executive team. And those individuals put on their hat that they're the consumer of the content. And so, since that is the only feedback, generally speaking, that HR is getting about their content, they start to morph the content based off of those people's opinion. And I'm not saying that your executive team and manager's opinion isn't important, but they're not the consumer. So let me restate that. None of those individuals that gave you feedback about your cashier job ever would want to be a cashier. They're not the consumer on the job seeker side of cashier jobs. They're not the ones who are going to apply. They're not the ones who you're going to train to become a cashier. They're not the ones that are going to become great cashiers and either leave you for a better place or to stick around. They're not the consumer. And so when it comes to creating great content, we need to identify who is the consumer and put them first when it comes to the engagement. Now, why is that so important? Well, the content that we want to tell about our brand is about our story, not our story from a company standpoint of how we were founded, while that is a great story, but the story of the what it will be like to work from us with that consumer, that individual job seeker or employee in the hero role. So it's from their perspective, right? Just think that for a minute. All of us went to school. We all took English and literature. We all kind of understand first person, second person, third person. Whose perspective is the story in? Is it the narrator who's watching it? Is it from the protagonist perspective or the antagonist perspective? Just think about this like it's a story. Now, your content that you're going to create that's going to attract job seekers to your brand, to this job, get them excited about it, get them to apply, keep them engaged throughout the process, get them to show up for interviews and to take assessments and jump through all the hoops that you're about ready to put them through. That story needs to be the story of the job seeker who is going to get this amazing job, who is going to recognize this amazing opportunity, who's going to get excited about it and apply, and who's going to jump through all those hoops. They're the hero in that journey, not the manager, not the company. It's the story of them doing that job. And while that may push it to an extreme, I can tell you those extreme pieces of content crush it on the job boards, right? But that is the underlying tone and message that you need to be able to portray, is the job seeker as the hero of this journey, the journey to discover a job, to recognize that it's a better opportunity than where they are now, to the journey of comparing and contrasting that opportunity to the point where they apply, the journey of showing up prepared, being excited, and receiving more information between the time they apply and the time they interview, being provided with value and reasons for why I should be excited to jump over each hurdle that you're about ready to give me, from a video interview to an actual interview to a background check to an assessment to all these hurdles that I've got to overcome, preparing for an interview, showing up. While yes, I want your opportunity, it's your job to make me want it more, to maintain this kind of upward trajectory of, this is the story that I want to become my reality. And that really is, as we look at the job ad, hey, this is a reality that I'm interested in. as we begin to apply and run through, this is a reality that I want more and more to be my reality, to the point of getting hired and accepting an offer and getting in of, I'm now going to make it my reality. And so that storyline, that theme, if you really embrace it at its core, you will find that it will utterly revolutionize your recruiting. It will also make you scared, make you afraid, make people laugh, make people think you're crazy. It will also confuse and confound your competitors. It will also make big giant companies that you compete with, the Goliaths, make fun of you. But at the end of the day, it will work. And that is the true measurement of how you should approach employer branding and recruitment marketing. It has very little to do with whether SHRM likes it. It has very little to do with whether your HR professional friends believe it's best practice. It has very little to do whether your competitors use it, and very little to do whether the Goliaths that you compete with will laugh at you. It has everything to do with this one core metric. Does it work? That's it. Does it work? And the fact of the matter is, this storyline concept, it works. And it works because job seekers love it. And at the end of the day, they're the consumer of our content. So thanks so much for watching today. Till next time, we'll talk to you soon.